It's a time for a bling bling package from China. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video, it's time for the PlayStation 2 again, because in 2021 we can do a lot of great things with it. In previous videos I've talked about like the Slim Edition, but also the Phat. There are like different options like upgrades, like a hard disk, USB drive, and there are like some pre-built kits that you can buy. The PlayStation 2 is still a console that I really love today. I think a lot of people grew up with it, and the PlayStation 2 had just an amazing library of games, and so far I know it was more like the best sold system ever. But nevertheless, there are so many cool things you can do with it, and that is what we're going to talk about today, to guide you in the jungle of the stuff like OPL, Mac-free boot, and what is it and what can you do with it. Because I think if you have a PlayStation 2, it can be a really cool thing to do now in 2021. But I really love to know from you, so what are your memories with PlayStation 2? Do you ever own one, or do you still want one in 2021? Would be great, let me know in the comments. Okay, so it's time for a package from China. Yep, so I've shown you this before in my previous video. This is a kit that you can buy, so you can make yourself a Mac-free boot disk, or you can just get yourself a kit that is just plug and play. And you need to add your games and that's it. And you can just play some games from a hard drive. Super convenient, especially when you're having like a dead laser inside of your PlayStation 2. So in my previous video we talked about the hard drive that you can use on the PlayStation 2 Slim. There are some people doing these modding videos that you can slap a hard drive in a PlayStation 2, but it is not really easy to do in my opinion. What I like are these quick plug and play solutions that everybody can do. But in the PlayStation 2 it's a slightly different story, because we can use a USB drive like this one. But then what we not need to forget is that we have the option to build in a 3.5 inch hard drive. But I'll tell you more about it later on in this video. So I think the USB drive is a pretty cool thing to do, but it has some issues. At the front we're going to get two USB ports. One will be needed, I'm going to use an HDMI dongle, and the other one is going to be used for the hard drive. Take consideration, this is really old tech, so the USB is not very fast. So basically you can add games three different ways. The USB drive that I've shown you before. We can use a 3.5 inch SATA/EDA drive, and not to forget we can just use a thumb drive that we need to convert, and basically can plug it into the USB port like with the hard drive. Okay, so let's talk about this one. So nowadays we're having the option to use SATA drives in combination with the Chinese SATA HDD converter for your PlayStation 2. It's just plug and play, super easy, but there are some things you just need to know before you're going to get into this. Later on I will make some tutorials how you need to set it up, because this is not plug and play. So this solution, yeah, plug and play, you can plug in the hard drive with the adapter, super easy. But sadly there are some cons. But overall we also have the option to play through the network. That's something I want to do in the future, just check it out how fast it is, because I think that's one of the best ways you can play, besides an internal hard drive. Plug it in your network and just basically stream your games from your PC. Super convenient, but not all the adapters will have this port, so take consideration with the Phat, it's going to be a little bit troubling. So these are the three options that we're going to get when it comes to Mac-free boot and adding games the naughty way. Okay, step 1, let's remove the memory card 2 with the free Mac boot. Doesn't really matter which port you're sticking in, it depends also with like how the apps are configured. Nevertheless, I use it in port number 2, works like a charm with this preset version. Another thing I'm going to use is the PlayStation 2 through HDMI. There is also like a PS1/PS2 HDMI. It has a really horrible signal output. I did a full review and a video about HDMI solutions for PlayStation 2. You can check it out if you want to see some more information. So the only thing that we need to do is plug it in the front USB connection. That's it, just what I said before, it's plug and play. Alright, so I'm ready to go. Let's boot up the system and let's chit chat about OPL and what you can do with it. Because it's quite interesting when it comes to the games. Powered on the system, you can see it will boot up in free Mac boot, and we don't need any much chip whatsoever that I really like about this way you can play. Okay, so we're having the functionalities like the browser function. We can go to the memory cards, system configuration, ULELF, and this means more like configuring the memory card for OPL and other devices, OPL, hard disk loader, simple media system, launch disk, code break, USB advanced. There are some emulators on this. We're going to make a separate review about that. I don't want to get into, let's say, the emulation of the PlayStation 2 because we can do that. Okay, FreeMac booth configuration, that's something we don't need, of course. Well, let's take a close look at the OPL and how does this version look. So OPL is basically a great way to load up all of your game. So if you're going to make an ISO file from your games, you can basically put them on the hard drive on a special program. There are tutorials out there, I can make one if you want to. Let me know in the comments. And here you can make your collection of games. I did notice that it takes quite a long time for loading up my covers. And that's because of the USB device. So OPL can be used also for a hard drive like the first model I've shown you in this video. And we're having the option to add PlayStation 1 games. It's a little bit of a hassle, but it works. But I did notice that the loading times are a little bit longer than usual when you're having an internal hard disk with the PlayStation Model 1. The one that pointed out, and that is one of more like the cons that you're having with a USB external device on the PlayStation 2 systems. I think it's just a great way to play your original games, or you need to ISO them and put them on a hard drive. But you can still enjoy them, especially when your laser is wearing out. Okay, so I think it's pretty convenient with the PlayStation Phat model. We can have the option to use an internal hard drive if you want to and a USB device. Okay, so now you can see in the OPL we can switch between the systems, super easy and super fast. Something that I really like. So if like your hard drive internal is full, you can always use like an external source like USB drive or an external hard drive. Super convenient and it's very easy to use. I must say what I find very nice with the USB option, it is very easy to add new games. But okay, so I would just want to give you a quick example with Gran Turismo 3 that I wanted to play. You can see already with the background, it's stuttering. And that is an issue with USB. This is an even better example that the game seems to be running quite smooth, also with the gameplay. But when we're going to look at the background, it have a lot of issues. And this is just a common thing that we're going to get with the USB storage options. It's super fast, it's super easy to do. And with fast, I mean just plug and play. But the gameplay itself, it is just fine. But the videos, boot issues, you name it, it all happens with this option. So take that into consideration. In my opinion, the internal hard drive is still one of the superior ways to go to. So in 2021, there are so many ways to play with your PlayStation 2. The HDMI solution is a great option. We're having cables, dongles, there are so many ways to play and super easy. Now with the external hard drive, thumb drives, but what I like about the PlayStation 2 Model 1, they're having the internal hard drive that has one of the best support when it comes to game compatibility. The FreeMac booth, you can buy a preset one for a couple of dollars or you can just make it yourself. It's all up to you. I want to thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become on the Wicked family. It would be great to have you here. And if you have any questions, you can always leave it in the comments. And it would be great to see you in the next video.